that's when I told him. I said, look, I was making light because that's what I do. That's how I deal with stuff. But the reality is I need a kidney.
That was State Senator Kelly Hancock back in 2022, just after he revealed to Lone Star Politics that he had been privately battling a rare form of kidney disease for more than 30 years. Shortly after the interview, a successful end to his battle, he received a kidney from a living donor, his son-in-law. April is National Donate Life Month, a time to raise awareness about organ donation, including kidney donations. And Senator Kelly Hancock joins us this morning. Thanks for being here. How are you doing? How is the kidney?
We're doing great. The kidney's great. Y'all just didn't warn me that you were going to start with that segment, so that was a tough time. Yeah.
I know. Well, we joked afterwards about how your son-in-law has the best seat at the Thanksgiving table now, right?
He has all second helpings, third helpings, whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And so after that experience, you helped get through Senate Bill 1249, which is kind of a public awareness program, right, for the Donate Life Texas, the donation program in Texas. Are you seeing what you want to be seeing out of that program? Yeah,
we're thrilled with the numbers. And so the reality is, you know, of the 10,000 Texans that are waiting on an organ, you know, 85% of those are kidney, you know, need a kidney transplant, 11% need a liver transplant. So both of those needs can be filled by living donors. And what we've seen, I think in 2023, we saw nearly 800. We're on pace this year to, you know, we could possibly hit 1,000 living donors this year. And, you know, someone who knows personally, trust me, it's life-saving, and it'll change everything.
And was the big deal, the big change on donations in general, what we do with the driver's license or when you register? That was kind of the big one, and then yours kind of came in to spread the word.
Right, and so, I mean, we have, you know, over 10 million people. When they register for their driver's license, they'll check that box to, if they have a fatality or something, to donate at that point. You know, I don't think what we didn't do a good job of is educating people on living donors and the fact that 96% of those needing a transplant, a living donor can help them out. And just like my son-in-law, life goes on. I mean, he, you know, he's running a half marathon. He's had another child. And, you know, and that's the case with anybody that's needing a kidney or a liver.
And awareness. Like, I mean, for so many people just don't talk about or even know about the situations, right? Right,
and so it's, you know, it's kind of been our mission. I've spoken to a lot of different groups and been asked to come talk about it, which just the awareness and the fact that it does change things for those that are in need, and frankly, those that are, you know, with the disease I had, IgA nephropathy, you just didn't, the doctor said, we don't know what it's going to do, how quickly it's going to do it, 2 days, 2 months, 2 years. But once I got the new kidney, I knew my life's going to go on, and it just changed everything.
Let's keep it on health issues for the moment, because the Texas legislature is tackling some health-related bills, including the brand of Make Texans Healthy Again, right? It passed the Senate already. It's over in the House. It requires food labels to warn consumers which ingredients are banned in other countries, and it requires more physical education. Why does the government need to step in on some of these personal health issues?
Well, SB 25 is really more transparency, and so there was other legislation that I really didn't support that kind of mirrored what California, what New York were doing, much more mandate and big government heavy. This really is allowing more information on a label so that you can educate yourself and trust consumers to make their own decision, but they can't make that decision when they don't have the information available to them. And then also addressing it, you know, in the education process. With my kidney disease, you know, as my kidneys continue to fail, there was less and less that I could eat. But I had to educate myself, and so I had to be very, very healthy in the diet that I had. And I just think it makes sense for other Texans.
These food companies are big and powerful. Do you think that these bills are going to pass?
I think they have a good shot of passing. I think there's a new attitude out there, especially young people. Mm-hmm. You know, I have 3 kids that are young adults, and they're starting to have kids now, and they are so much more aware of what's on the label, and so much more aware of what's in the food, and they're being more disciplined with it.
Before we go on to some other issues, let me ask you about what's next for you. If Governor Abbott has to fill a vacancy for controller and appoint somebody until an election, if he appoints you, are you willing to serve? Are you willing to take
Gromer, I've been serving for 30 years now, and I've just served where people have called and asked me to serve. That's been at the school board, that's been in the Texas House, and in the Senate. And, you know, the controller's office with my friend Glenn Hager, who's done a tremendous job, is going to be Chancellor of A&M. So congratulations for him. That's it's the chief financial officer for the state, where we've put broadband, we've put education savings account are going there, the opioid settlements over there. And I just think the governor, he understands how important that job is, and he's going to put a very qualified person in that position.
Would you accept it?
I trust the governor to.
Yeah. And are you interested in running for controller?
You know, right now we have roughly 40 days left in session, and that's what I was hired to do. And I'm really focused on legislation and getting some of these things across the finish line that we've talked about. And then we'll see what happens after that.
Okay.
Senator Kelly Hancock, thanks for being here.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all.